What's up, you guys? Happy Sunday. Happy blessed Sunday to y'all, man. I pray that this weekend has been an amazing weekend. It has been quite the weekend for me, I'll say. It's definitely been one of those weekends where God has had me moving more in faith, and really not even moving more in faith, but it's been a wake like certain fears, I'll say the least. It's been a very busy morning this morning, surprisingly. But I wanted to come on here and release this word. And I say surprisingly, y'all, because Sundays are usually my prepare for the week type of day. It's my rest day for the most part. But today has been one of those days where I have literally been like on go, from cardio to check-ins to washing the dogs, getting some food for the week to meal prep, different things like that. But as I was sitting out, just kind of reflecting on it and trying to, I guess, in a sense, catch my breath. I don't know if you guys have ever been to the point of having such a busy day and being on go all day, to where it's like when you do sit down, it's kind of like you got to kind of just catch your breath and process everything that you've been having to do. Hey, Miss Baldwin, it has been I've been so busy that my feet have started to hurt. I'm not even going to sugar. I've been so busy today, and it's just 10:46. Hey, Miss Charity, it's just 10:46. And my feet hurting and my eyes are heavy, but I have a lot more to get done. Anyway, as I was sitting out here and just kind of reflecting on it and giving myself a moment to just kind of just relax a little bit, because sometimes you need to relax even in the mix of a busy season, even in the mix of a busy day. And as I was reflecting on it, and just, waiting for God to just, I knew it was a revelation and a word in it. But as I was just kind of waiting for God to tell me what that was, I heard him say, "Tell my people, I'm going to give them the grace to see it through." Come on. Hey, Miss Jennifer, the Lord told me in the mix of me just having one of those sit down and kind of relax moments for a few minutes before I have to get back to it and fold laundry and fun stuff. The Lord said, "Tell my people that I'm giving them the grace to see it through in this season." I'm going to say it again. He said, "Tell my people that I am giving them the grace to see it through in this season." I need somebody to type that in. God is giving me the grace to see it through in this season. We have all been through seasons where we've had certain goals. We've had certain visions that God has given us that we've tried to pursue. And we've all had those moments where it's kind of like stop and start. And it's not necessarily a lot of times in those seasons where you're going through that, like you're choosing to stop and start, right? It's not a lack of consistency on your part, but sometimes the storms of life, bring us to such a point where we have no choice but to like stop whatever it is that we're doing, because we're like in a fight or flight type of mindset of trying to push through, trying to make it through. And this word is so multifaceted too. But the Lord says in this season, you'll be able to accomplish more than you did in previous seasons. I'm going to say that again. You will be able to accomplish more than you have in previous seasons. Now, this revolves around certain goals that God has put in your heart, certain things that God has called you to in this season. And maybe you feel like, God, I don't have the strength. Maybe you're at that point where you're like, God, I'm waiting for the season to shift. I'm waiting for the miracle. But if I can be real with you, Lord, it just feels as if I do not have any type of energy, right? For those of you guys, what God is saying is he's going to give you the through to the miracle. He's going to give you the grace that enables for you to get to the point where you actually break through to the next level, where you actually, receive that blessing and that miracle that you've been waiting for quite a long time. And honestly, in some seasons, we do need God's grace to see us through, over the finish line. But for many people, what God is saying is there are things that he has called you to accomplish in this season. There are things that he has put in your heart to do for quite a long time. And God says in this season, I'm going to give you the grace to do what I've called you to do. I'm going to say it again. He's simply saying, I am going to give you the grace to do whatever it is that I have called you to do, whatever it is that I have called you to work on in this season. And if I can be real, this revelation stemmed from like my health journey. It was a part of the revelation, I'll say, but this was the part that really stood out. So you guys know the journey, like the last year, year and a half, really, almost 2 years. Honestly, it has been 2 years after I competed. I was still on my game for a while, and then the storms of life, right? And so with my health journey, I noticed that it was one of those journeys where I'm fighting as hard as I can fight, but I'm already going through so much. And so it was literally like a stop and start kind of cycle in that area. And to a certain degree, it got to a point where so much was happening around me that I could not focus on that or give my undivided attention to that part of my life. And so recently I've been doing a lot better, but I had a moment like for the past few weeks where, I just have not wanted the food that was on the meal plan. Like, it was one of those things where I'm like, I just need him to change the diet, because this ain't it. I don't want to eat that. I'm just still eating healthy, but not eating, probably hardly as many of the meals that I should have been eating. But I've still been eating very, very healthy, right? Just feeding my body what I feel it's been needing. And so this morning I sent check-ins, because Sundays are check-ins day. It's a day where I send my coach updates, let him know where I am, how I'm looking. And the past few weeks I'm going somewhere with this show. I've been seeing some progress, but I also knew like I'm pretty much really doing my own thing. I'm not eating all these meals. I'm just kind of just doing what I feel I need to do, right? And so this morning I actually asked him. It was a bold move, because you never ask your trainer about your diet. I'm like, listen, are you gonna change my diet? I need a change in diet or something. In so many words, he said no. Hear me. I'm going somewhere. In so many words, he said, no, I'll let you swap out some foods, but I'm not going to change what I have you eating, right? I've been doing the workouts, doing the cardio, doing everything else. And so in that moment, at this point, I'm on my morning walk. After I sit my check-ins, I'm on my morning walk and I'm talking to God about it. And the Lord told me, he said, why don't you trust that I'm going to give you the grace to do what you need to do? And so he gave me a set of instructions. He said, I'm going to give you the grace to do it this time. So go ahead and go to the store, get the items that you need. And they may last you for 2 days, but go and get those items, right? And just try again. Just literally try again. And I think sometimes when we're in old seasons that have taken a lot out of us, it's almost as if we begin to lose confidence that we can do certain things, that we can accomplish certain goals, that we can reach certain thresholds, like spiritually, right? And it's like when you reach certain thresholds spiritually, there's a different type of favor that comes with that. There's a deeper type or a different type of blessing that becomes available to you in this season. And so I had told the Lord, I said, God, I might as well, because he's not going to change it. So I might as well just do, or at least attempt to do, even though I don't want that food, I might as well attempt to do what I know I need to do, right? And that was really where the revelation began. It was just God dealing with me about that area and saying, listen, I need you to pick this back up, and I need you to know that I'm going to give you the grace to see it through this time. And what that means is, for many people, that stop and start cycle that it just seemed as if you had no control over in the past, maybe even recently, what God is saying is that period of stagnancy, because that stop and start, I don't care what nobody says, it does prevent growth. It does, to a certain degree. But what God is saying is that in this season, the stagnancy is coming to an end. It may be stagnancy relationally. It may be stagnancy financially. It may be stagnancy with your health. It may be stagnancy within, your business. But what God is saying is the stagnancy is coming to an end, because I'm about to give you the grace to stay consistent. I'm about to give you the grace, right, to be disciplined, like that you've needed to be. I'm about to give you the discipline to accomplish what you could not accomplish in the previous season. And he said this, he said, but it requires, hear me now, it requires that you try. The requirement is that you try. I'm going to say it again. The requirement is that you try, meaning you've got to show up. And for some of y'all, this may be God saying, go back to what you feel did not work the last time. Go back to that very thing that you just legitimately felt like, God, this thing ain't working. It ain't budging. Come on, I'm not getting no callbacks for the job. I'm not, seeing progress financially. I'm not seeing progress in my health, progress in my business. What God is saying is pick it back up again. And this time when you pick it back up, I'm going to give you the grace to finish, right? What I'm starting in your life. And this is that type of season, right? Where for many of us, God released this word yesterday, where for many of us, as we see God bring us out of certain things that we've been dealing with, certain things that we've been battling with, we will never, ever have to revisit these things. And so if God's saying he's putting an end to that stop and start cycle, what he's saying is this time it's going to work. And because it works, you won't ever find yourself back in this low place ever again. I pray that I am making sense. God has been speaking about this so very heavy, so very heavily. And even for many people, August is the month of new beginnings. And for some of you guys, you still have 3 days left before God does something spectacular, right? That literally starts you in September on a brand new note. But what I hear the Lord saying, he says not to release it all right now. But what many people, he says, I can say this, but what many people will find that happens in the month of September is God's going to finalize certain things that he began to do in the month of August. And so that is the word for you on this morning. God is literally giving you the grace to see it through. Whether you're working on a home project, and maybe you may say, Apostle, I'm just tired. I'm wore out. I feel like I want to just give up. I'm frustrated. I'm overwhelmed with it. What God is simply saying is he's going to give you the grace to complete that thing. Maybe it's business. Maybe it's health. Maybe it's financial stuff. Maybe it's with living arrangements. Whatever the case may be, what God is saying is my grace is the thing that's going to enable for you to see what's on the other side of you showing up for me. And that is the word on this morning. You guys know how I do. I don't add anything to it, and I do not take away anything from it. And so that is it, y'all. To those of you guys that feel led to sow, you guys can sow, whether you are sowing via PayPal, whether you are sowing via the CashApp. The seed title is a grace seed, and it's just simply you saying, God, I receive that you're about to give me the grace that I need to accomplish what I need to accomplish, to complete what I need to complete, to break whatever cycles, right, that started in that struggle season, to break them now and for good. And this is just what it is. The seed title is a grace seed. The seed number has an 11 in it. It may be you sowing 1111. It may be you sowing 11. It may be you sowing 111. It may be you sowing $1.11. But 11 is the number that I hear. And so it may even be you sowing 511. 5 is the number of grace. But you just simply let God lead you when it revolves around what you feel led to sow, if you feel led to sow. And so that is the word on this morning. Again, the seed title is, it's a grace seed. To those of you guys that need prayer for anything, to those of you guys that have testimonies to share, the email address is in the description, of every single video. The links to sow are also there. And that is it, y'all. That is it. And so I love y'all. I am rooting for you. And so until next time, y'all. And Miss Jennifer, God says to tell you, keep pushing. Till next time, y'all. Peace.